Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will give practical ideas, examples of activities to address different learning styles and different intelligences. Well, you will definitely notice that the activities that I will use in this video as an example are not mutually exclusive, but they every now and then may overlap. One activity that I may suggest for logical mathematical intelligence may also address the naturalistic intelligence, depending on the content. Now, let's start with verbal linguistic intelligence. Brainstorming, riddles, anecdotes, jokes, crossword puzzles, storytelling, story reading, debates, giving and listening to lectures, discussions, writing stories, and or poems, journal keeping, speaking activities, writing, all these can be used to address this intelligence. As you can see in this figure, we have a crossword puzzle. If you want to use this crossword puzzle with young learners, it is a good idea to use pictures. But if you are working with older learners, you can always use the definitions of the words. We can also use a word hunt activity to address verbal linguistic intelligence. In this activity, we have school-related words. Logical mathematical intelligence. What are the activity types that we can use to address this intelligence type? Problem solving, logic puzzles, charts, trees, compare and contrast activities, creating and breaking codes, secret messages, questioning, calculating, doing mathematical equations or other operations, scientific demonstrations and experiments, logical sequential presentations. Okay. Here I have chosen brain teasers. The first one goes as, how many apples can you fit into an empty basket? The answer is 1, because then it is not empty. The second brain teaser is this one. A rooster lays an egg at the very top of a slanted roof. Which side is the egg going to roll off on? Neither. Roosters don't lay eggs. Chickens do. Hens do. Now let's talk about visual spatial intelligence. Visualization, drawing maps, sketches, figures, mind mapping, graphic organizers, visual graphic organizers, collage work, art, videos, movies, PowerPoint presentations, transparencies, cartoons, etc. Here we have a mind map for the topic holiday. So as you can see in the center, we have holiday and all the related subtopics there. For example, needs, hot, cold, transportation, etc. are written, and students brainstorm and come up with ideas related to these this main topic and subtopics. Another activity example for graphic organizer for a story. you can give this graphic organizer and ask your students to listen to the story and summarize it, okay, using this organizer. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence. What activity types, you say? Okay, creative movement, dance and mime, physical awareness activities, hands-on learning, manipulatives, tactile materials like Play-Doh, competitive and cooperative games, using body language and gestures, role play, drama, using Legos to build something or other blocks to build something. Okay, now I have a game to address bodily kinesthetic intelligence, and the name of the game is Imagine. Okay? Ask your students to stand at their own desks. You don't need any equipment, you just need a set of instructions. And you say, I will read a statement and you act it out. Okay? Let me give some examples. A big, scary bear is chasing you. Jog in place. Okay? Or you may say, you're standing on the beach and the sand is very hot. Jump in place. That kind of thing. There are balloons flying. Reach up to grab them out of the air. That kind of thing. Well, you can come up with several other ideas for acting out. Musical rhythmic intelligence. Singing, humming, whistling, keeping rhythm, putting into chants and raps, songs, jazz chants, jingles that teach, listening to outside sounds or noises and identifying them. Okay, now let's say this rhyme, nursery rhyme, together. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Interpersonal social intelligence. Role-playing, pair and group work activities, interactive games, tasks, group and peer teaching, simulations and board games, group problem-solving activities, interviews, etc. I have an information gap activity here which requires pair work. So I ask my students to work in pairs. One of them will be A and the other one will be B. They will each have different cards holding different information. They're not going to show their cards to each other, and they will ask and answer questions to fill in the missing information on their own cards. So this is what A has. As you can see, we have 4 bags, 10 or something pencils, etc. Where B has a different number of objects, but the same objects. So they're not going to show their cards to each other, but by asking and answering questions, they need to fill in this grid here that you can see. Intrapersonal or introspective intelligence. Individual activities, self-paced learning, self-paced projects, options for homework, either do this or this, reflection, silent periods, again for reflection, journal keeping. Look at this figure. It's a kind of a graphic organizer. Remember I said these activities are not mutually exclusive? So I say, think of butterflies and fill in the graphic organizer. Naturalistic intelligence, field trips, and outdoor activities, hands-on experiments, classification activities, or activities that's required to find connections. Here, I have a matching activity. I have some animals and their homes. Students are expected to match the animal and its home. Okay? So, after doing that, the student is expected to say, a rabbit lives in a hole. A turtle lives in a shell, etc. Existential intelligence. Making connections between what is being learned and the world outside the classroom. Focusing on the big picture. Examining a topic from different points of view. Summarizing the information learned in a lesson. Asking learners to create lessons to teach their classmates. And my activity here, suggested activity here is hide puzzle pieces in the classroom, in different places in the classroom. Make sure that the puzzle is age appropriate. Ask the students to find the puzzle pieces and put them together on the board. Remember, you need some tacket by the board so that students can paste the pieces that they have found. They can always reorganize the pieces, but they need to start pasting them. Another suggestion can be collect supplies, then deliver and volunteer at an animal shelter nearby. Or another suggestion is choose an area. It can be the classroom, the hall, the schoolyard, or a park nearby, and keep that area clean from garbage. Make sure that these students have the necessary supplies and they wear gloves and masks for their own hygiene because they're going to be dealing with garbage, okay? Now, let me give you another activity. Can you tell which intelligences are addressed with this activity? Here we go. The first part says, look at the animal in the picture. Choose the correct sentence. I have 3 more here. The second part says, how about you? Do you like sleeping? Do you like bathing? Do you like lemons? Do you like the cold? Do you like playing? Do you like fish? And the last part says, work with a friend. Compare your answers. Do you like sleeping? Be ready to answer my questions when I say, does he like sleeping? Okay? Now, in this activity, verbal linguistic intelligence is addressed because it involves reading, speaking, writing, and listening. All major language skills are involved. Visual spatial intelligence is addressed because students use visual clues to make judgments by looking at the expression of the cat, they're going to make the judgment whether the cat likes that activity or not. Naturalistic intelligence, because they are learning about an animal, okay? And they are making connections. Existential intelligence, because they're examining a topic from different points of view. A cat's point of view, their own point of view, their friend's point of view. Interpersonal social intelligence is because they share this information with their friend. It is a pair work. They're working together with a friend. Intrapersonal, introspective intelligence, because they reflect on themselves. They think about what they like, what they don't like, their likes and dislikes. Well, this activity does not address the bodily kinesthetic intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, or musical rhythmic intelligence. So let's try to find more activities to include these. Now, how about this one? Do these equations and write the correct letters for the numbers in order to address logical mathematical intelligence. Here you go. In order to find out the sentence, they need to break the code, and the code is related to mathematical equations. The equations themselves are not difficult, are not hard. 1 plus 1 is 2, so no big deal, okay? Okay, in order to address bodily kinesthetic intelligence, how about this activity? Imagine you're a cat. Do these actions. You're sleeping. You're bathing. You're eating a lemon. Well, you may skip the imagine that you're a cat part, and then you can just say act out. That is also a possibility. In order to address musical rhythmic intelligence, I will bring in a recording of the animal sounds in which cat sounds are scattered. So if there's a dog barking, there's a cat meowing, and then maybe a horse neighing, and then maybe another cat purring. So what they're going to do is they're going to listen to the recording and find out how many times they can hear a cat sound. These are some suggested activities. I bet you can come up with much better activities than these. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Take care. Bye-bye.